Hello readers, welcome back. I'm Carlos, I'm the book review guy, and I have been in the food and hospitality business for almost 30 years now, and I'm here to share with you a bit of what I've learned. Have you ever been so close to quitting on something that you could actually feel it? Well, Ken Taylor was there. Bankruptcy at his door, everyone telling him his restaurant idea would never work, and rather than following the rules, he broke them all and challenged the status quo. He mortgaged his house, gave away free food, focused on his team and his community, and did things that made experts think he was crazy. Today, Texas Roadhouse is worth over $5 billion, and this book shows his journey, made from scratch, written by the founder himself, Ken Taylor. Please invest a few minutes and hear me out. This might just be what you've been waiting to take the next leap in your life, or at least know that you are not crazy. So stay tuned and buckle up while we explore Made from Scratch. More to come. Welcome back. We're now on the golden nuggets. So I have divided the golden nuggets into 4 basic sections and placed them in a sequence that can make sense for us more easily. Since there's so many rich golden nuggets in this book, I try to place them in a way that they're better understood in a way, I guess. So the first one is called the foundation, and it's basically Ken's vision and culture. Ken Taylor had a simple motto that became the heartbeat of Texas Roadhouse. It was called legendary food and legendary service. Now, a lot of companies have mottos, but they're plastered in break room walls and forgotten by Tuesday. But Ken understood something crucial. A motto isn't just words. It's a tool for alignment. When everyone from the dishwasher to the regional manager knows exactly what you stand for, then magic happens. Everyone's rowing in the same direction. I love rowing. But here's what made Kent different. He didn't just talk about legendary service. He built a culture that could actually deliver it. And that culture, it wasn't an island of misfits, as he called them. No, there were no suits and no ties at the headquarters. Ken was a CEO who dressed like he was part of the landscaping crew, and he knew about it. He welcomed the unconventional, the different, the people that other companies might have overlooked, because Kent knew that the cookie-cutter corporate culture doesn't create legendary experiences. And the philosophy behind all of it, well, fun with a purpose. There weren't just buzzwords. Kent believed you could have fun at work and be deadly serious about quality. His team loved coming to work, but they also follow meticulous recipes and turn out hand-cut steaks and fall off the bone ribs night after night. The fun wasn't instead of excellence, it was the fuel for excellence. The second quadrant that I prepared is called the people side, and this is how Kent led the team. Now, Kent's philosophy about people wasn't some HR poster on the wall. It was how he actually operated every single day. He was obsessed with relationships, not just with customers, but with everybody else. His team, the communities, his restaurants he served, even his suppliers. Kent understood that business isn't transactional, it's relational. And those relationships, well, they were built on him staying approachable by everybody. This guy, you know it, Kent, would roll up his sleeves and work the line alongside his team, which is not easier said than done. He'd wash dishes if needed. He listened, really listened, when people had ideas. And here's what I love about Kent. if someone on his team showed ambition, if they wanted to row, he'd hand them the oars. When you row, that's what you row with. But, and this is the key, he held them accountable. It wasn't just freedom without responsibility. There was accountability involved. And Kent got that sometimes the most powerful motivators aren't these big bonuses or fancy perks. Sometimes it's just showing up, being present, giving someone a genuine compliment. Those simple symbolic gestures that tell your team, I see you, I value you, because at the end of the day, Kent knew you don't build something legendary alone. You can't. You reward your team. You share the success because you didn't get there on your own. You stood on the shoulders of giants. Those giants are your team. The third quadrant is the execution side, how he worked. But here's where Kent separated himself from dreamers who just talked about culture. The man executed relentlessly. He poured his heart and soul into every single project. And he pushed everybody, including himself, way past what they thought their limits were. That's where we get held many times. Ken had his philosophy of turning every single stone. No detail was too small. It didn't matter. He went all in. He was a student of the craft, always reading, always researching, always paying attention to the little things. And I mean the little things. The landscaping, the paint, the decor, the uniforms, the experience. Kent understood that appearance mattered. Customers might not consciously notice that the parking lot is clean or that the paint on the walls is fresh, but they felt it. It all contributes to the experience. Kent never, and I mean never again, was satisfied with good enough results. He constantly encouraged his team to keep pushing him, to suggest new ideas, to find ways to improve. That relentless pursuit of better is what took Texas Roadhouse from one location to over 700. That's crazy, right? The fourth quadrant is what I call the resilience side. How Kent adapted. Now, here's what makes Kent's story real and not some fairy tale. He failed, and he failed a lot. In 1994, he opened 3 locations that all eventually closed. Can you relate to this? Well, he's got artifacts from those failed restaurants hanging in the office, with plaques showing exactly how much money each one lost. But Kent was proud of those failures because of what he learned from them. Everybody fails. What matters is whether you are humble enough to learn from them. That is a golden nugget on its own. Kent also understood you can't be so married to your formula, your correct way of doing things, that you feel is the only way. Sometimes you're so hung up on those formulas that you miss a lot of opportunities when they show up. Life throws you curveballs. Goals might change, and they might change constantly in certain businesses. Kent's advice on this was, get out of your comfort zone. Try a different approach. Be flexible enough to adapt when the environment changes. And I think we're currently living in an environment that's changing a lot. And listen, Kent wasn't afraid of rejection either. He got turned down over 100 times by different investors when he was launching Texas Roadhouse. He had this brilliant idea of reframing things. You already have the no. So you've got 50%, as I call it, you got a 50% chance of getting a yes. That grassroots personalized approach to building connections, whether with investors, customers, or communities, that was ultimately what got him to win. I love the idea of 50%. I got that from statistics class. More to come. Welcome back. Here are some key takeaways that I got from the book. First one, invest in your team. Let them operate within guardrails and make them accountable, but don't cripple their creativity. This happens a lot. It has happened to me and it might happen to you. Second one, the managing partners at Texas Roadhouse are so dialed into their communities, many of them felt and still feel that they're the mayors of their town. If you find somebody like this, keep that person. They are a golden trophy. Third, aggressive growth can be a blessing and a curse if not done properly. Do your math, do your accounting, check your cash flows. Not because you got a great deal on growing, that means that everything else can withstand it. Sometimes it's much better to pace your growth. Fourth, when bringing a new member, be sure they can be decisive. They can take action and know and accept that they will be held accountable of their actions. A good manager will help you as a leader to grow, and it will help the business grow faster. Why? Because actions and decisions will flow much faster. But remember, with accountability. More to come. Welcome back to some real life examples of things that have happened to me and that can be similar to the things that happen in the book. The first one is a real life example of my personal life. When I was newlywed, a little bit over 21 years ago, I had 3 coffee shops in Mexico City that were part of my exit strategy when I was working in one of the most amazing restaurants that taught me everything. It was called Gino's. They also paid for my scholarship to become a chef. I also wanted to open a cake factory but didn't have the budget. So I turned my home and living room into a cake and bread factory where I would produce, along with my wife, fresh pastries, cakes, and bread every single day. I went all in and never looked back. I sold my car, I bought a Peugeot partner for the livery, I got myself a very, very rugged moped. It was yellow, I can remember it perfectly, that my friend Carlos sold me. It took me years to pay him back. But I was all in, dialed in at 100%. I worked 24/7 to make my dream come true. I was HR, I was finance, I was accounts payable, I was accounts receivable, I was supply chain, I was procurement, you name it. We had no system except Excel. Truth is that if I were going to do business today, after everything I have learned during the years, I don't know if I would have done it the same way. But sometimes fear can hold us back from our dreams. And a little bit of ingenuity can get us a long way. I love the spirit of an entrepreneur because they are fearless. I would encourage us to be a bit more fearless in our endeavors, because the truth is that regardless of what happened next, I loved that part of the journey and I miss it. The second example is something from work. Throughout my life, I have worked with many different types of people. Not all of them had the same amount of energy or commitment that I had. It is important to detect this type of person soon enough and don't let them hold you back. There's a lot about this in the book. Being as resilient as I am and have always been, I knew that since many of these people were not really engaged, some of them were just there for the 9 to 5, some of them would eventually abandon the ship, which is what always ends up happening with people that are not really engaged. In this world, many people want to turn your light off. And if your light is bright enough, they want to turn it much faster. Once I got reported to HR for working too much, even though I was salaried. This is because some people felt threatened by me, and I guess they felt that there was a shadow over them, or they just wanted to do the bare minimum. Again, you always have to be yourself. Don't lower the bar. Don't lower your standards. You might be fighting for more than yourself. You might be fighting for a company or defending many jobs or for a project. You might also be just fighting to keep your boat afloat. Kent shows us that no matter what happens and who says what, you can make things happening. Interesting, right? If you like my stories, please like and subscribe. More to come. Welcome back. So let's talk a little bit about the author. Kent Taylor was born in 1955 in Indianapolis, Indiana. He's an American entrepreneur and restaurateur, best known as the founder and former CEO of Texas Roadhouse, one of America's most beloved casual dining chains. Taylor's journey wasn't typical. He didn't come from wealth and have fancy business school credentials. He started working in restaurants as a young man and fell in love with the hospitality industry from the ground up. After working his way through various restaurant positions, he had a vision to create a place where people felt like guests, not like customers. In 1993, at 38 years old, Kent Taylor opened his first Texas Roadhouse in Clarksville, Indiana. He mortgaged his house and convinced friends and family to invest. The concept was simple, but revolutionary. Great steaks, legendary service, and an atmosphere that felt like home. What stood out to me, most of it, was that his servant leadership style was above par. He worked alongside his employees, gave them ownership and stake, and built culture that put people first. Tragically, Kent Taylor passed away in March 2021, but his legacy lives on throughout the company he built and the thousands of employees he empowered. This was his only book. Remember, servant leadership. More to come. Thank you, Kent Taylor, up there in heaven, for having shared your journey with us in this amazing book. For those who read it, many things will start making sense. Don't forget to find his book at my store at bookshop.org, at the links below, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, at your neighborhood bookstore. The important thing is that you pick up the book and start reading it. Until our next book, there's more to come. Please let me know in the comments below if you have any suggestions or questions. Thank you for all your emails of support that you have sent me. Please like and subscribe if you are so kind. It helps me continue promoting amazing authors like Kent and their book. And until next time, be kind to each other. There's not enough kindness in this world. We need it now more than ever. Be kind.